Hi, my name is Hannah, and today we're interviewing Sébastien. Sébastien is a partner in a Singapore-based trust company. He has over 20 years international experience in France, Luxembourg, and now Singapore. Today he gives us his view on key trends that require our attention as we emerge into a post-pandemic world.
This podcast channel is about you, successful international entrepreneurs, successful expats, successful investors. Sponsored by HCJ.tax.
And we're live. Good evening, Sébastien. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
I'm pretty good. Thank you very much. Welcome and thanks for giving us some of your time. And I look forward to hearing some of your insights. So please, could you first introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Sébastien. I'm lawyer by training, based in Singapore since 10 years now, and partner and co-managing director of a local fiduciary company. We are 25 people inside, providing with legal, tax, bookkeeping, trust services in general to customers from very small entrepreneurs to very big organization to big family and
Okay. Wonderful. All right, that's great. So what are your thoughts? I mean, obviously what we're going through now is unprecedented. What are your thoughts on the short, medium, and longer term impact of what we're going through?
I think we all understood that office are useless now, so we can work from anywhere. From home, from the beach, from the beach we are not allowed to go, so for the time being, but at least in the next couple of weeks probably we can do that. So yes, I think digitalization will be the main topic, is the main topic actually. Digitalize everything in our firm since 2 months. I accelerated a lot this process. So a lot of I think digital economy will be the main topic now. Yeah. There's a lot of sector collapsing, like retail, probably commercial real estate, such kind of things could collapse.
Okay, so I like that. That's pretty balanced in the sense that you start off by saying that there are some positives from this. We have learned that we can leverage technology and we can work remotely. We can digitalize the office and take advantage of the efficiencies from that. But on the flip side, retail and other sectors, I guess like leisure and so on, they are being challenged. And in some spaces, they're collapsing.
Entertainment also, you're right, yeah, leisure and entertainment, yeah. They are doing a lot in Singapore to digitalize entertainment sector. Okay. Probably not the best sensation to be alone in front of your TV to watch a performance, but okay, why not? Everything is changing.
Okay. So, with that in mind, from your perspective as a service provider, what other changes do you see happening? Because I would imagine that, for example, there may be an uptick in demand for your services because in neighboring jurisdictions, things may be a bit uncertain now, and like in Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, or whatever, and there may be a flight to safety. People may want to relocate some of their assets or have their assets more professionally managed in a credible jurisdiction like Singapore. What other, do you see any changes as a professional service provider based in Singapore?
No, because it was already the case before. Anyway, Singapore is a kind of it's a financial place, safe, stable. Okay, you can expect a lot of things. Yes, safety, security is the main things for everybody. Physical, also for money and for whatever. So no. But I think it was already the case before. So I don't think really it will change something to that respect. Probably now we will have more small customer asking for the same service as big customer for price that are lower than than the yeah. So that's why we are on our side preparing let's say two kinds of services. Let's say added value services with a lot of advisory, just like we do actually, and a much more affordable company providing fully digitalized services. So you can, okay, with very cheap price. And I think this is the future. Even big customer now claim for a small price. So we need to adjust and to adapt ourselves. I think technology can allow that, yeah.
Okay. Right. I mean, yeah. So that's a fair point. That as many companies and many industries have been negatively impacted by the economic slowdown, invariably, all their service providers, they would want their service providers to share in the pain, and they will come looking for discounts because they're under margin pressure. And they're looking.
Sure, definitely, yeah. No, I don't want to say we are going mad. No, it's this period has been very positive for me. To be honest.
Okay. Right.
Because it allows us to change everything and radically, yes. So yeah, not very negative on that.
Okay. So yeah. So in that sense, have you been able to actually reduce your cost base as well by working remotely and using more?
No, as I said, we do different offer now. We will we will be up and running for the fully digital platform in 1 month.
Okay.
But we are informing our customer. You want cheap price? Okay, you will go to that side of the business. We can provide, but we will have no added value anymore. No advice. You cannot ask me to advise you for nothing, right? So you have two choices. The one with added value, advisory, and so on. The one without, you can do everything, do it yourself. You have the platform. Everything is nicely done. You will be compliant, but you do it alone. Or you want added value services, but you go on the other side and you pay more. That's it. You have the choice.
Okay. And another, another situation that we can't avoid perhaps exploring, aside from the obvious pandemic, is what's happening in Hong Kong. And and to your point, many of these things have been happening even before the pandemic. So do you see any impact in your business from the unrest in Hong Kong? So do you see a lot of clients coming your way from Hong Kong?
Yeah, before the pandemic, we had a lot of not so much customers formally coming in because they were already prepared. All those people from Hong Kong, they were already prepared to a certain extent to the change. Hong Kong is China since the signature, right? So they had kind of holidays, but everybody was aware already of the closing of Hong Kong becoming China 100%, more or less. But they were asking for a lot of questions, yes, definitely, for the one who did not prepare themselves. Now probably we will have, it's coming in, the professional service provider coming and say, okay, can we do something and so on. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, unfortunately for them, yeah.
Yeah, understood. And from an economic perspective, well, is your perspective one of simply a service provider, or do you provide like financial advisory or wealth management services as well?
Financial advisory, no, we can do it informally, but we are not licensed for that. Risk management, same.
I'm asking because I'm wondering if you have an opinion on the outlook for Southeast Asia as an economy. Because, you know, some people say it's going to be a V-shaped recovery. Some people say it's going to be a U-shaped recovery. And some people say there will be no recovery. Do you have a perspective?
I'm not very worried for Southeast Asia economy. Okay, they can, they can go down and collapse a bit for a certain period, but no, I'm not. As I see it, they are very flexible and they adjust themselves. They already had some crisis, huge one in the past, and they recovered in what a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Less sometimes, so no, I'm not very worried. I would be much more worried for Europe. And as you see, Singapore, okay, we need to help economy and so on. We pay, we have the money. Okay, they did not put billion on that, but they put no billions they did. But they did not borrow money. They have the money, and they can face it. They did savings for I don't know 10 years, 20 years, and they pay. And they will do saving afterwards. Yeah. I'm not so sure that. No, to the contrary, it creates opportunity for everybody.
Okay, fantastic. I like that outlook. Now, you mentioned Europe. What are your thoughts on what's happening in Europe right now?
It's a disaster.
Okay.
First, politically, I'm a lawyer, so legally speaking, Europe, I don't see really anymore the purpose of this institution. If it is an institution, still, not sure. Italy has problem. Okay, you can do it yourself. We will help you if we don't. It takes 6 months to decide to help each other and so on and so on. Tomorrow, collectively model, now they are discussing about that. Everybody is fighting. Okay, frankly speaking, we have to review Europe. I'm a pro-European guy, but what we can see today is Europe has no content.
Okay, I see. I mean, obviously you're right. There's a lot of turmoil and uncertainty when it comes to the European experiment right now. So, to the higher net worth family who doesn't need to be in the same jurisdiction as their businesses, and they have the ability or the choice or the freedom to relocate to any part of the world, would you recommend Europe or Asia as a base for a high net worth family right now?
It depends what you want to do and how you want to enjoy life, right? If you want to still invest, or I don't know. It's a matter. The life is not so bad in Europe. Nobody can complain if you are in France, in Italy, in Spain, in perhaps not in Germany because it's a bit rude. Okay, at least in the South Europe countries, not so bad. Climate are nice and so on. Okay, if you want to enjoy life, I would go to Europe, yeah, for sure. If you want safety and so on, return on investment, you expect to have a much more security life, let's say, I would go to Asia, yeah, definitely. You cannot be rich anymore in Europe. It's not impossible for your own safety.
Rich, in terms of, do you mean in terms of taxes or?
But in terms of taxes, that's one thing. In terms of real security, physical security, definitely. If you can accept to pay tax and you can eventually manage to not pay so much tax anyway in Europe, you have plenty of you can sustain the local economy or whatever, or do tax optimization, why not? But there is plenty of things to be useful and to not pay so much tax in Europe. That problem of tax is not so much a problem, I think. You can avoid it, no, but safety, it's really an issue now. Yeah? And nobody likes rich people today in Europe.
Yes, yes.
In Singapore, you can do what you want. In Singapore, not only in Singapore, by the way, even in smaller country, you can do what you want. Nobody will attack you for having a big diamond on there.
I see. So one thing that has come out, right, is that during the present pandemic is that yes, different countries are having a lockdown, but the definition of a lockdown seems to vary from place to place. So, for example, as we know in Singapore, it's very strict, whereas in certain European countries, it's more of a recommendation. We recommend that you stay home, but if you come out, you come out, right? And I've heard feedback from some people who are in Singapore that it's a bit too strict for them, the lockdown, and bearing in mind that there will probably be a second wave. They are, they prefer to be based elsewhere when there are lockdowns. Do you think, so my question is, until of course we find a cure and a vaccine and whatever, do you see for the high net worth family who has a choice as to where they want to be based, that Singapore will be less attractive until we come out of all the waves of this pandemic? Or do you see it as the opposite? No, Singapore will be more attractive.
Singapore is easy to live in, even if you have the lockdown. You can order everything from any kind of restaurant, any kind of shop that are still open, and you have a good health system and so on and so on. So it's not so bad, I think. It depends with which country you compare, but it's not that bad. Okay, you are not free to go where you want, but you can still walking, running, you cannot do gas training and so on. Yeah. Okay. But almost since 2 months now, so I'm a bit fed up with that. So I work a lot, but but I don't complain really. It's life is quite easy in Singapore. If I compare to what I know in Europe, France, Italy, and so on, really. Life is better in Singapore.
Okay, all right, that's great. So I like it. It's a very bullish and positive outlook on Southeast Asia in general and Singapore in particular. Okay, and for other investors who do business internationally, are there any perspectives that you want to share? Any opportunities that you think would be of interest to international investors? Just globally from your perspective. I mean, aside from the obvious ones like investing in any technology companies, especially ones that facilitate remote communication, remote learning, biotech, pharmaceuticals. Do you have any other geographies? I know that you obviously a big fan of Singapore, but any other geographies or sectors or economies that you think are of interest and people should consider?
No, but you're right. Yeah, digital sector, and not fine. You have plenty of very small. I'm working actually with a very small startup in Singapore. The boys come from a different horizon, and not especially from development. They learned that very fast, and they did a very good job in 6 months. It's just crazy, and they deserve to find investor and to grow and to they are not young, they are 40 plus. So they have a former life in let's say salary system, but they are really good, and you have very small startup like that, very good opportunity all around Southeast Asia, but not only in Southeast Asia, also in Europe. All the startup now, and they are very attractive, I think. And as you said, biotechnology, security, ce kind of thing.
Okay. So you're bullish when it comes to the startup scene as well. Okay, that's good to know. Sebastien, thank you for your insight and your perspective as to what's happening. I think what distinguishes this conversation from some of the others that we've had is yours is very, very optimistic. And I understand why now.
I'm not a pessimist guy, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I see the good thing and the bad thing. And okay, there is downside on all what happened, but I think you have a lot of opportunity anyway out of such kind of thing. And it's not the Second World War. Nobody tried to kill us, so it's except the rivals, of course. But we are staying at home, enjoying life, and ordering to good restaurants. Well, it's okay. It's okay. It's not so bad.
Okay. Merci, Sébastien. Très bonne soirée à vous. Okay.